Hey guys, welcome to Fundo Online or level biology. In this lesson, we're going to talk about cells. So what you're going to learn here is what a cell is, and parts of a cell, functions of parts of a cell, and the summary. So what is a cell? A cell is the smallest structural and functional unit of living organisms. They are the simplest units that have all the characteristics of life. And all organisms are made up of cells, whether a human being, an animal, or a plant, or bacteria, or fungi. All living organisms are made up of cells. Some organisms are unicellular, that is, they are made up of just a single cell, e.g. bacteria and yeast, whilst other organisms, e.g. most plants and animals, consist of millions of cells. And moving to the next spread are parts of a cell, and here's a typical animal cell which contains a mitochondrion, the Golgi apparatus, the nucleus, the centrioles, which each composed of 9 microtubule triplets, the cytoplasm, the ribosome, the cell surface membrane, the smooth endoplasmic reticulum, rough endoplasmic reticulum, the vesicle, and the lysosome. So you can go across this diagram to see the structure of each part of the cell. And moving on, here are parts of a plant cell, and the only additional features here are the cell wall, the chloroplast, and the vacuole, which is surrounded by a membrane which is called the tonoplast, and the other common parts are the cell surface membrane, Golgi apparatus, mitochondrion, and vesicle, which are also present in the animal cell. And moving on to another topic or another subtitle are differences between plant and animal cells. So a plant cell is a cell wall, whilst an animal is not cell wall. A plant cell is a vacuole, whilst an animal cell is either very small or no vacuoles at all. A plant cell contains chloroplast, whilst an animal cell has no chloroplast present in it. A plant cell is mostly irregular shape, whilst an animal cell is a shape that is irregular. And on spread 3 functions of parts of a cell. And first of all, we're going to talk about the cellulose cell wall, which is a non-living rigid structure around the cell membrane, and it is made of cellulose. The cell wall gives the cell its shape, and it is fully permeable, that is, it allows substances to move in and out of the cell. The cell membrane. The cell membrane is a partially permeable layer that forms a boundary around the cytoplasm. It is made up of lipid and protein. The cell membrane prevents the cell contents from escaping from the cell, and it actively selects which molecules can enter and leave the cell. The cytoplasm. The cytoplasm is a gel-like substance in which organelles and large molecules are suspended. It is nearly all water with dissolved substances in it. It is a site for metabolic reactions. And examples of organelles that are suspended in the cytoplasm are the nucleus, the vacuole, and the mitochondria, among others. And now on the organelles, we're starting with the nucleus, which is enclosed by a double membrane called the nuclear envelope, and the nucleus carries genetic material of the cell. The nucleus controls all the cellular processes or all the cellular activities. The nucleus also contains chromosomes, which in turn contain DNA for the regulation of gene expression. The mitochondria. The mitochondria are also called the powerhouse of the cell. These are sites for cellular respiration, which helps to provide energy to the cell. And the quantity of mitochondria in a cell depends on the cell's activity, e.g., muscle cells have several mitochondria. Vacuoles. Vacuoles are fluid-filled spaces surrounded by a membrane. Animal cells have either small vesicles or no vacuoles. Plant cells have large vacuoles which contain cell sap and dissolved food substances such as sugars, mineral salts, and amino acids, among others, as well as waste. Chloroplasts. Chloroplasts contain a green pigment called chlorophyll and therefore convert light from the sun for photosynthesis. The ribosomes. Ribosomes are production sites for proteins. They can be suspended in the cytoplasm or attached on endoplasmic reticulum. Ribosomes on endoplasmic reticulum make proteins which will be transported out of the cell, whilst those in the cytoplasm make proteins for the cell. The endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum contains ribosomes attached to it, and the rough endoplasmic reticulum's function is to store and transport proteins. The smooth endoplasmic reticulum has no ribosomes attached to it, and these are sites for the synthesis of lipids. You can go back to that diagram and check the structure of these parts of the cells. The Golgi apparatus. These package substances are made by the endoplasmic reticulum for the secretion out of the cell. And the final part of the video, the summary. A cell is the smallest functional unit of living organisms, and the parts of a cell that we have learned and their functions. The nucleus controls cellular activities. The cytoplasm provides a medium in which organelles are suspended. The cell membrane controls movement of substances into and out of the cell. The vacuoles help to maintain pressure in the cell. The cell wall gives the plant cell its shape. The chloroplast is the site where photosynthesis occurs. The ribosomes are sites for protein synthesis, and the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell.